My lady, after I entered the toilet, I knelt down over Reva. She was sitting with her weight on top of the toilet bowl. I checked to see if she was breathing, and she wasn't, and I put my arms underneath her shoulders and I pulled her weight onto me, and I sat there crying for some time. I had her head on my left shoulder, and I could feel the blood was running down on me. At a point, I heard her breathing. I couldn't pick her up, but I kind of was on my knees and on one of my feet, and I was pulling her into the bathroom. I ran back to my bedroom where my phone was, next to the left-hand side of the bed. And both my phones were there. I picked them up and I ran back to Reva. I then phoned Mr. Stander, Johan Stander, who was a gentleman who lived in the estate, somebody that I'd become a friend with. I phoned him to ask him for help, to help me come and help. I couldn't pick Reva up. I was struggling to pick her up.
We know from the records, Mr. Pistorius, that call was 3:19:03.
That's correct, my lady.
I see from the records at 3:20:05 you phoned 911. When?
That's correct, my lady.
Could you tell the court about that?
I was trying to pick Reva up, and I didn't really know what to do. I could see that she was breathing. She's struggling to breathe. I phoned 911 or 8, Netcare 911. I don't recall speaking to the operator, but I remember him telling me that I needed to get Reva to the hospital, that I mustn't wait for him.
Yes, I also see from the records at 3:21:33 you phoned security. A call lasting 9 seconds.
That's correct, my lady. I don't remember phoning the security though, but from the phone records I see that there was a call made. I think it was after I got off the phone with the Netcare 911 call centre. I ran downstairs to open the front door. I then ran back up to my room, and on the way into my room I tried to force the door open. There's two doors to my bedroom, my lady. The one I use just locks with the key, and then the other one's got a latch at the top and at the bottom. So I ran into the door, and it didn't break open, and I unlatched the bottom latch, and when I unlatched the bottom latch, the door opened. The house, all the doors at the bottom of the house and most of the doors at the top are double doors. If one door is open, you can walk through it, but I got the doors made so that the house is wheelchair friendly. So if you want to have a wider passage, you have to open both the doors. I then went back to the bathroom, and I picked Reva up. I don't recall carrying her some of the way, but I remember getting to the second flight of stairs, and Mr. Stander and his daughter, Miss Stander, arrived. At that point I was shouting and screaming for him to helped me get her to the hospital. When I got down to the bottom of the flight of stairs, either Mr. Stander or Carice Stander told me to put Reva down. They said that the ambulance was on its way. Before I put her down, I said to them that we need to get to the hospital. We need to get to the hospital. And they said just put her down. The ambulance is on its way. And then I just sat there with her and I waited for the ambulance to arrive, and I felt helpless. I wanted to take her to the hospital. I had my fingers in her mouth to help her try breathe. I had my hand on her hip. I was trying to stop the bleeding.
Could you explain the presence of plastic bags at the scene?
I was trying to hold Reva's hip with my hand to put pressure on it so that it stopped bleeding as much. Miss Stander asked me if I had any tape or any rope or anything like that, so that she could tie Reva's tie her arm so that it wouldn't bleed as much.
Did the paramedics arrive at the scene? Or first Dr. Stipp? Which
there
one?
There was a person that arrived at the house. Carice came in and she said to me that there's a doctor, and I immediately felt relieved. I looked up and I saw a person walk into my house who was later... I later found out it was Dr. Stipp. I still don't remember his face or what he looked like, but he came in the house, and I remember me crying for him to help me, for him to help Reva. He didn't seem like he knew what he was doing. He didn't seem like he seemed overwhelmed by the situation. Everything he told me to do, I was already doing. I was already trying to stop the bleeding. I was already trying to help Reva breathe. He kneeled down on her right hand side for a couple of minutes, I think, and then I don't remember seeing him again. He walked outside, and he was outside. I was shouting for him to come back in the house and help me. The paramedics then arrived. They asked for some space to work, so I stood up. Reva had already died whilst I was holding her before the ambulance arrived, so I knew that there was nothing that they could do for her.